Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight on our news.
Fnm MPs sent a letter to the Governor General requesting the removal of Dr. Hubert Minnis as leader of the opposition. That story straight ahead.
The 7 Fnm MPs speak out on their controversial decision. That story coming up.
Parliamentarians react to this morning's shocking announcement.
2 fringe parties merge after months of discussions. That story straight ahead.
A union leader slams the labor minister on recent layoffs at the one and only Ocean Club. Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina McNeil. Topping news tonight, after years of party infighting, Free National Movement MPs have sent a letter to Governor General Dame Marguerite Pindling advising they are withdrawing their confidence in Fnm leader Dr. Hubert Minnis and want him removed as leader of the opposition. The shocking announcement was made in the House of Assembly this morning. Our team coverage begins with Dana Smith. Dana?
The Speaker of the House of Assembly read the details of that letter in Parliament today, in which the 7 Fnm MPs announced they've lost confidence in Minnis as leader. For his part, Minnis branded the group rebels who do not believe in democracy and said they're trying to circumvent the process because they didn't get their way. MPs Nico Grant, Loretta Butler-Turner, Hubert Chipman, Richard Lightbourne, Theo Neely, Dr. Andre Rollins, and Edison Key have moved forward with a long-standing plan to remove Minnis as opposition leader. This after the party has struggled to unite amid continued reports of friction within the party's parliamentary ranks.
That a majority of our caucus wishes to avail ourselves of the provisions outlined in Article 82, subsection 4 of the Constitution of the Bahamas, and thus to withdraw our confidence in Dr. Hubert A. Minnis as leader of the opposition. We respectfully ask you to revoke the appointment of Dr. Hubert A. Minnis as leader of the opposition.
The MPs have previously labeled Minnis as inept, ill-qualified, and lacking the necessary skills to lead the party, let alone the country. In the letter, the group said it hopes the Governor General will consider not only the will of the majority of the opposition, but also the well-being of the nation. And they've already pegged the person who will take Minnis's spot.
That in the interest of ensuring a seamless transition, our caucus has also voted to undertake its work in Parliament under the leadership of Loretta Butler-Turner.
The letter was met with clear surprise and a few jeers from the governing side of the House. The move comes after the latest of several attempts to oust Minnis was prevented when he agreed to a convention, where he again emerged as leader. Taking to his feet to address the House, Minnis said it's clear some within his party are not happy with that result. And now, the Bahamian people are witnessing the subversion of democracy.
These, as I would call, rebels
Yes.
Rebels will not believe in democracy.
Yes.
And will continue to subvert the process of democracy. As I am hearing this for the first time, saddens me that individuals are prepared, because they did not get their way in a democratic process, they are determined to subvert democracy and still take their way.
Now the MP's move to oust their leader comes just days after Key rescinded his support of Minnis, reportedly after the Fnm leader sent a team to vet a new candidate for Key's constituency. Key said Minnis betrayed him.
Minnis is a very deceptive person. You cannot take his word. And I hope the Bahamian people realize that out there. I mean, I was the only person, only single member who was supporting him during this whole episode.
Minnis's leadership has been under intense scrutiny from both within and outside his party for years, and it's unclear just what will happen to the Fnm now. The party has been mired in controversy, and with its leadership struggles once again coming to the forefront, Key noted this could harm the party's chances at election. Minnis quickly left the House of Assembly after the bombshell announcement, only telling reporters it's a matter the party will deal with. Fnm Deputy Peter Turnquest said something similar.
I think we were all caught off guard by that, but be that as it may, they've made a decision, and we will make a decision as a party, and we'll move forward.
But although some in the House didn't see the move coming, the Speaker had a different opinion.
I'm never surprised about the goings-ons of Parliament. Parliament is a place that is extremely unpredictable.
Well, this morning's events in the House of Assembly come after more than a year of severe infighting within the Free National Movement. Now, the MPs who signed that letter explained the move in a press conference immediately after Parliament. Kyle Joaquin has that story. Over to you, Kyle.
Thanks, Dana. Well, Butler Turner said the efforts of the official opposition to be effective have failed over the past 4 years, which is why they decided to make this bold statement today. With Loretta Butler Turner sitting at the head of the table, the 7 Fnm MPs addressed the media shortly after it was made public that they had written the Governor General expressing no confidence in Dr. Hubert Minnis as opposition leader.
Following intense discussions and in response to widespread public discontent and voter apathy, we've made the considered judgment that it is necessary to take this very bold and unprecedented action within our parliamentary caucus, which will result, God's willing, in more effective parliamentary opposition.
Once the process is complete, Butler Turner would become the first female in the Bahamas to hold the post of opposition leader in the House of Assembly. But it would follow a tumultuous 4 years for a party whose wounds have only grown year after year since its defeat in 2012. Butler Turner calling the opposition during that period ineffective.
The performance of the opposition in Parliament has failed to represent the change so desperately needed. We have not been the type of strong opposition that the Bahamian people expect, neither deserve.
And with the general election just months away, the Long Island MP said the opposition hasn't yet convinced the public that its parliamentary team has the leadership to fix things in the country. And she said opposition MPs must accept their share of the blame.
We have failed to convince Bahamians that we represent a change for them to vote for. Instead, we have taken the posture that the electorate will choose by default to vote against the PLP. Such a strategy fails to meet the challenges of our time and is not deserving of the confidence of our Bahamian people.
Toward the end of the press conference, the MP shared hugs as Butler Turner thanked each of them for their expression of confidence in her to lead.
We do believe that it is now time for us to truly start to articulate the change that the Bahamian people are anticipating. Thank you.
Butler Turner said they will speak more on their plans in the coming days. Reporting from the House of Assembly for Our News, I'm Kyle Joaquin. Back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Kyle. Well, Bambootown MP Renward Wells is one of the 2 other Fnm MPs under Minnis who did not sign that letter to the Governor General. Wells has made it no secret that he supports Dr. Hubert Minnis.
The Fnm is a brand. It is strong, resilient. The supporters of the Free National Movement are still out there. They voted for people in here, and they voted for the leader we currently have. This is about democracy, and the democracy will prevail.
And although he's not a part of the Fnm, Tall Pines MP Leslie Miller says Dr. Minnis was wrong for what he did to Central and South Abaco MP Edison Key, but he notes that although the MPs may try to oust him as opposition leader, their plan will fail.
It's finished now. They would never come back in the Fnm, not the way it is now. If Mr. Minnis wins tonight and have his way, that they would be suspended, then it's over. They now have to find a new home. Edison Key, you don't go after a man like Edison Key. He's a regular pot cake. He's on the ground. And, you know, people believe and have faith in what he says. And to go after him was a mistake of drastic proportions. You don't do that. You know, especially with the people who was against Doc at the convention. To have a meeting with those sort of people, as Mr. Edison Key told me this morning, you just don't do it.
In other news, 2 of the smaller political parties today announced their merger. Leaders of the United Democratic Party and People's Movement made the announcement outside the House of Assembly. Our Jasmine Brown was outside and filed this report. Jasmine?
That's right, Christina. While they do admit there is still a lot to be done to finalize the party, they also say they're confident in their chances.
Speaking on behalf of the newly formed party was interim leader Greg Moss and deputy leader John Pinder. Moss formed the United Democratic Party after leaving the PLP last year. He says the decision to merge came after months of discussions.
Now the country is seeing that persons who have that common interest are able to put aside any differences and come together for the common good.
Now, Moss says since the merger is still in its infancy stage, they have yet to settle on a name for the new party. He also admits there are a few other issues that need to be worked out, but says they plan on naming candidates over the next few weeks.
We intend to contest every seat in the elections. We intend to win the next government of the Bahamas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We intend to change this country, to give it back to the people, and to establish it again upon the foundations of God that it was established upon to begin with. We see what is happening in this country, and people understand that something is fundamentally wrong. When the people are suffering and the politicians are prospering, something has to be fundamentally wrong with that. When you have corrupt people who are known criminals being able to just escape justice, something must be wrong.
Yes, sir.
When we have people who no longer have access to education because we've made that a privileged institution for the select few, when we cannot tell our people that as you excel in school, we will stand by you in the public school and in the University of the Bahamas and make sure that the only impediment to your success, the only impediment to you moving forward is your own effort. When those things are missing, something is fundamentally wrong with our country, and we intend to restore those things. We intend to deal with the question of employment. We intend to forthrightly deal with the question of work permits. We intend to make sure we put Bahamians first.
The pair was also asked if they believe the party will have enough time to not only fully form itself, but also gain a steady following before the next general election. Pinder had this response.
We are like the fastest man in the world. He may not get out the box first, but he's surely going to win the race.
Now, as for whether the party plans on having a convention, both Moss and Pinder say that will depend on the election date. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown. Back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Jasmine. Still to come on our news, a union leader speaks his mind on recent hotel layoffs, how $1 could change the life of a girl living with cancer, and today is International Civil Aviation Day. That's coming up when our news returns.